Good morning, participants. Welcome to the DYPMS. Today, we'll be going to have FDP on the basics of advanced analytics using R with the resource person, Dr. Lalit Prasad, sir. Let me give the short introduction about this, sir. Dr. Lalit Prasad, sir, is a professor at DYPMS, a trainer in business analytics and data science. He is carrying more than 16 years of experience in the teaching and research. His expertise widely recognized. He served as a regular trainer for several organizations, including Minda, Stoneridge Instrument, then Mundra Soft Technologies, Adbit High Tech India Private Limited, Renuka Sugars, No IT, and he conducted the session for CDAC also. So I would request Dr. Lalit Prasad sir to take over the session ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Deepak. Okay, good morning, participants. So I'll just share my screen and then we'll go ahead. Okay, so good morning, everyone, once again. So I hope my screen is visible. Yes? Anyone? Can you confirm? Any one of you? You can unmute yourself and then you can tell me, or you can box itself. You can yes. And then I hope that you are able to hear me. Okay, so today we'll discuss about the basic. You can say that the what are the basic aspects of the advanced analytics, and then once we'll complete the theoretical aspects, then we'll go to the you can say that R. So we'll do the basic business analytics using R. Then we'll go to slowly we'll go for the advanced analytics also. So that's why I have written here advanced analytics using R. So what exactly analytics? That we have to understand first. And then we'll go ahead. So you can see here, I'm showing you one data. So the data is example of a raw data we are talking about. So this is the data what we are talking about, the weekly sales that is in thousands of a product in a particular region over the past years, that is 2020-21. And here you can see here there are 52 data points are there, 52, 52, 61, 59. If you will count all these numbers, then these are the 52 data points, means that these are the weekly sales of a particular year, that is the 2021. So now the point is, if you will put this particular data to your manager, so what he will say that will he be happy that by seeing this particular data? No, because this is a raw data. By seeing this data, he will not be able to understand anything. Or it is a small data, 52 data points. Might be he will be able to understand something. But if it is a, you can say that the thousands, 2,000, 3,000, 15,000, 1 lakh data points will be there. And then you will show this particular data to your boss or to your manager. He will not appreciate that. That you have to understand. Because why he will not appreciate? Because he will not be able to understand anything from this particular data, because that data is a raw data. So here there is a role of, we are talking about the analytics. So you can see here I have done some analysis using Excel. So we'll keep it aside for a certain time. So then we are talking about the analytics. I have written here the business analytics. So first I am talking about what exactly the analytics means. Nowadays people are talking about the data analytics, business analytics. Okay, so these are the terminologies we are using. Business intelligence. Okay, so what exactly the analytics is? So analytics is nothing but, I have shown you the raw data. To convert the raw data into the meaningful insights or meaningful business insights, or convert the raw data into the, you can say that the useful information by using various tools and techniques. That is known as analytics. Once again, I am repeating, we have to convert the raw data into the useful information or the meaningful business insights by using the various tools and techniques is known as analytics. Okay. So what are the tools and techniques? Raw data you have seen, on the basis of the, you can say that the output you will get, you want to take the decision. Our ultimate aim, whatever the subjects we are teaching, or we have studied in our, you can say that the whatever from class 1 to till date PG level, the whatever the subjects we are studying broadly, if we'll see this, why we are studying all these things? To take the appropriate decision, nothing else. Okay, so that's why here it is saying the converting the raw data into useful information by using various tools and techniques. So what are the tools and techniques? When I am talking about the tools and techniques, there is a use of statistics. There is a use of statistics. So earlier we use statistics manually. Mean nikalna hai. If you want to find out mean, what we have to do? We have to add all the numbers divided by number of observations. You have to find out the mean, then you have to put the data in the ascending or descending order, then you have to find out the middle point. So mode, then the number which is occurring most of the time. Similarly, standard deviation, similarly, variances, all these things are there. So many things are there. So these are the statistics we are talking about. And earlier we used to do it manually. So there will be a use of statistics in the tools and techniques, as well as how we will use by using various softwares. Are you using through Excel, through R, through Python? So many softwares are there. So through which you will be able, SPSS, SAS, Minitab, so many softwares are there, certain programming languages are there, through which you can convert the raw data into useful information. So that's why it is saying by using the tools and techniques. So when we are talking about the tools and techniques, there is a requirement of business intelligence. There is a requirement of business intelligence. There will be a requirement of data mining. There is a requirement of simulation. So many things will be there. There is a requirement of certain softwares, modeling, statistics. Are you getting my point? So here nowadays it is very easy to convert the raw data into the useful information if you are using R. So if you are putting the data, importing the data, and then in the R studio, and then you are giving the command to find out the mean, you will get the output. Same thing will happen in SPSS and all these things, whatever the different types of softwares you are using. So that is the analytics, converting the raw data into the useful information or to get the business insight by using the various tools and techniques. Then there is another terminology if I will talk about the business analytics. What is the business analytics? You have understood about the definition of analytics. So what I can say now, I am not going to define what is analytics. So how we will say that if we are using analytics in the various functions of business, then it is known as business analytics. Then again, I have used one terminology. What are the various functions of business? What are the various functions of business? We are teaching in our MBA course, business, Master of Business Administration. So what are the various functions of business? So if you want to start a business, what are the various things required? So there should be operations management. There should be a HR department. There should be a marketing department. There should be a finance department. There should be a customer service department. There should be a R&D department. So if you are using the various functions, if you are using analytics in the various functions of business, marketing, finance, HR, operations, all these things, then it is known as the business analytics. Now, again, if you will divide into this, then what you will get? Nowadays, you will we see that the terminology marketing analytics. So what is the definition? If you are using the analytics in the various functions of marketing, then it is known as the marketing analytics. If you are using analytics in various functions of HR, then it is known as the HR analytics. So if I will teach you business analytics, then I will give you the example of marketing, finance, HR, operations, everything. But if I am teaching you a subject, HR analytics, so all the examples will be related to HR only. Means recruitment, selection, training and development, performance appraisal, everything. Employee satisfaction, whatever you are related to the HR functions, that I have to give the. Similarly, it is related to the marketing analytics. I cannot give if my syllabus is of marketing analytics, so it is restricted to marketing only. It is the heading itself, it is saying. Then I have to teach you the segmentation, targeting, positioning, all these things, customer satisfaction related to things, market potential, market share, all these things. And then I have to use the softwares to get the inputs. So then market basket analysis, RFM. So all these things. So all these things comes under the marketing analytics. So wherever you are using this analytics, and the domain word is there, it becomes the analytics of that particular domain word. Nowadays, people are talking about the sports analytics. If you are using the analytics in sports related thing, related to bowler, related to batsman, if we are talking about the cricket, again, if it is related to football, then something else will be there. How many goals and all these things, mistakes he has done related to that, then it will be sports analytics. Okay, so these are the things. So if you are using analytics, the definition remains same. Converting the raw data into useful information by using the various tools and techniques is known as the business analytics. Business analytics, what actually look like? Good data, it will give you the business insights. Messy data, it will give you the noise. Garbage data, again, it will give you the noise. You will not be able to understand why. It is a data science terminology. We are talking about noise, and you have to relate it in our practical life. If someone is calling you and you are in some DJ is going on, are you able to understand anything? The person he is calling you, no. And then you will not be able to understand anything. So it is like that only. If your data is not correct, you will get a noise. There will be no business insights. If your data is garbage, then output will also be a garbage. Data is good. Data is good means what? It should be valid, it should be reliable, it should be sensitive data. Then only you will get the business insights. So, मैंने कोई भी data use करके कर लिया? No. Suppose what you have infer, like if you want to get a good marks in the examination, and to get the good marks in the examination, you are running 3 hours in the morning. Every morning you are running 3 hours. What will happen? Is there any relationship between running in the morning and getting good marks in the examination? No. You are taking some wrong data. That is not related, these two data are. So output will be something else. There will be no relation. So you have to see whatever the dependent variable is there, what are the related independent variables are there. I have to collect the data for that. That's why I have to do the review of literature. We have to see the past study, what are things that happened earlier. So that is the data. Good data. You have to see. So a note about the buzzwords. Nowadays, we are talking about the business intelligence, data science, decision science, data analytics, business analytics. So these are the terminologies we are talking about. More or less, these terminologies are same. Certain minor differences are there. There is a difference between business intelligence and business analytics. So Tableau and Power BI are the business intelligence tool. They are not the business analytics tool. Are you getting my point? So business intelligence is looking backward, whereas the business analytics is looking forward. आगे का चीज बताता है business analytics, और business intelligence पीछे का चीज बताता है, जो हो चुका है और जो हो रहा है. That is the thing. So certain small differences are there, but more or less we are using these terminologies: business analytics, data analytics, business intelligence, data science, decision science, all these things. Then what are the challenges? We are talking about the analytics. We have to convert the raw data into useful information. But how you will do it? Data often needs lots of cleaning. You will not get the data. You can say that is you can say that you want in a particular form. You have to clean that particular data. Then only you can use it, and then you can apply the various tools and techniques. So that's why it is saying data often needs lots of cleaning. This can be sometimes the most frustrating task. So data is rarely in the form that you need it sometimes. So there is a process before you can say that the converting the raw data into useful information. That is known as the data preparation process. Data preparation process that I will tell you later on, in which the data cleaning and all these things will come. Then data is much more unstructured. It does not all come from the relational databases or a spreadsheet. Sometimes it will be in PDF, MP3, JPG, Excel, then documents, etc. Audio, videos. So what we are talking about? What are the challenges in analytics? Good analytics does not solve bad business processes. Bad business processes means what? You are collecting the garbage. Your data is not correct. So garbage in, garbage out. So if the process produces poor data, the analytics will be meaningless. Analytics doesn't understand. There is an algorithm in it. If we will give the correct data, then only it will give you the correct output. So that's why there is a human intervention is required. Everything you cannot dependent on softwares and programming languages. So you have to give to the software or the analytical tools to the correct data, then only it will give you the correct output. So what are the correct data? Then we have to understand what are the correct data. So first, the good research or the data must have, you can see here, validity, reliability, and sensitivity. You have to see this. So what is the validity in your data? So validity is nothing but it is the ability to measure what it is supposed to measure. It should not under measure, it should not over measure. That is the thing you have to understand. So if I'm talking about the employee satisfaction of an, you can say, or the job satisfaction of a particular organization, job satisfaction. Can you tell me that do you have a particular instrument to measure that? If you are putting that particular instrument in the body of a particular person, are you able to understand? Just like thermometer, like he is satisfied or no? This type of instrument is not there. Then how you will measure that? So there is a technique. So we have to design the questionnaire. So how we will design the questionnaire? Job satisfaction. So you have to find out the various components of job satisfaction, like salary component. Then you can say that the boss behavior, promotion policy, working environment, all these are the components we have to consider. Incentives. So these are the 5 components I have given you. It can be more than that also. But suppose if you are doing a survey related to that, and then you are considering only 4 components, you have designed the questionnaire related to 4 components only: salary, incentives, boss behavior, and promotion policy. And then you have your output is more than 90%. All the employees are satisfied related to salary, incentives, you can say that the boss behavior, and then the promotion policy of the organization. And then you have submitted this report to the management of a particular organization. So management is also happy, that because all the employees are very happy related to all these things. But after 15 days, the employees are leaving the organization. One after another, they are giving the resignations. So that is whatever the output we have given to the management, there is some problem is there. They are saying in one side, they are saying that they are extremely happy, but they are leaving the organization. Salary, incentives, boss behavior, promotion policy, all these 4 parameters, they are extremely happy. Then why they are leaving? Then again, we have done the research. Then we have found that whatever the instrument we have used to collect the data for the job satisfaction, it was not valid. Why it was not valid? Because we haven't incorporated the component working environment. What is the working environment? Because you are giving good salary, good incentive, promotion policy is there, behavior is good. Because you are taking the, you can say that 12 to 14 hours, you can say that your employees are working 12 to 14 hours job in your organization. So they are thinking that their personal life is not there. 12 to 14, 15 hours they are spending in the organization itself. Although you are giving salary, incentives and everything. Because that you haven't incorporated in your questionnaire. So how you will be able to understand this? The people are annoyed or they are not happy related to working environment. So that's why it is happening. So this is the output. This is the wrong thing will happen if your instrument is not valid. So that you have to understand. So when we are doing a management research or any type of research, your data should be valid. Means what? It is the ability to measure what it is supposed to measure. It should not under measure. It should not over measure. Means you cannot incorporate the work-life balance in your job satisfaction or personal life or your family. No, not work-life balance, family support. We are talking about the job satisfaction in the organization. What is happening in your family that doesn't required in this research, your family support. So that's why I'm saying it is, you should not over measure, you should not under measure. You have to measure what it is supposed to measure. Many people ask me, sir, I have to design a questionnaire, how to do it? Can 15 questions will be okay, or 10 questions will be okay, or 20 questions will be okay for this questionnaire, for this particular topic? I say, I can't say that. because you have to first find out what are the, you can say that the construct of your study. And then once you are finding the construct of your study, you have to see what are the subcomponents of that. Then again, you have to find out in terms of variable. Then you have to design the questionnaire. And then you have to see how many questions you have to prepare. You cannot say directly कि 10 question, 15 question, 20 question बना के लेके आ जाओ, काम हो जाएगा. You can't say that. So that is the important thing. आप कोई भी tools and techniques, if you use any types of tools and techniques, but your data is not correct, output will be wrong. Whatever you want to infer, and then you want to take the decision, it will be not, it is not going to be fruitful. So that you have to understand. Then second important aspect in your data, it should be reliable. One is valid, it should be valid and reliable. Both valid but not reliable, there is a problem. Reliable but not valid, then also there is a problem. It should be both valid and reliable. So the first, it is the validity, means it is the ability to measure what it is supposed to measure. Second, reliability. It is the ability to get the consistent result when the same measure is repeated. So that is the reliability of your data. Or not your data, your instrument. It should get the same result. Suppose you are buying 1 kg of mango, and then weight is showing that 1 kg. If after half an hour, if you are putting the same mangoes, and then you are finding it is showing 900 gram. After some time, if it is showing it is 700 gram, do you think that that instrument is reliable? No, that instrument is not reliable. It should give the consistent result when the same measure is repeated again and again. Then your instrument is reliable. We are talking about the instrument. Your instrument should be reliable. Your instrument should be valid. And the last one that we are talking about, the sensitivity. It is the ability of measure to measure the variability in the responses. What are the variations? One person, second person it is giving, that it should be in a position to measure. But if you will be able to do the first two things, validity and reliability, it is must to, you can say that to check that your instrument is valid or not. Some instruments are already available in the market. What is the instrument? If there is a fever, we are using thermometer. It is already valid worldwide. It is scientifically correct. If you are putting it in our underarm, then we are getting the temperature of our body, 98, 97 degrees Fahrenheit. If someone has already developed an instrument related to emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, intelligence quotient, and so many things are there. So all are, if these instruments are already valid, then you can use that by referring all these instruments related to, suppose it is in foreign country context, you have to see if that particular instrument is applicable in India or not. Accordingly, you have to see that certain changes are required, then you can do that. But if you are making your own questionnaire, then you have to see that the validity and reliability should be there. There are so many types of validities are there. Phase validity, you can say that the discriminant validity, content validity, so many things are there. But ultimate definition is, it is the measure what it is supposed to measure. One example I will give you related to validity. Recently, we have completed our, you can say that the MBA exam, admission process. So there is an examination, it is known as the CET examination. So if a student, suppose there are 200, total marks, full marks is 200. So the student, those who are getting more than 150 marks, suppose, and then they are getting the admission in the MBA colleges, and the sum of the students, they are getting below 50 marks, and they are also getting admission in the MBA colleges. Just take an example. But the student, those who have got the CET marks more than 150, they are failing in various subjects in MBA, and they are unable to pass MBA in 2 years. But those who are less, getting less below 50, they are, you can say that comfortably they are passing. What is the thing happening? Means whatever the instrument you have decided to, you can say that take the examination for CET, that is not correct. If it is happening, but it is not happening right now. Those who are doing good in CET, most of the students, they are doing in MBA also. So that's why this instrument is going on. There is an examination in UPSC, MPSC, everywhere. So that instrument is still going on. So that these are the instruments to check what you are going to do in future. So at the example I have given you, if it is happening, the students, those who are getting good CET marks in examination, but they are facing problem in MBA, but those who are getting less marks, they are comfortably doing. So it means that whatever the instrument you are using to give admission in MBA, that is not correct. You have to revisit that particular instrument. That there is something wrong. But it is right now, it is correct. So that is the role of validity. It is the ability to measure what we are supposed to measure. Then again, reliability, same result, and then the sensitivity. So you can see here, by seeing this particular diagram, you will be able to understand what exactly. If you want to take you can say that the person to Olympics. So you can see here, our main target is this small circle inside this red dot point you can see here. That is the target he has to hit. But consistently he is hitting outside here. So what it is saying? Consistency is there. So he is reliable but not valid. Now what it is saying? Second, only once he has hit inside this small circle. And then there is no consistency. So it is valid once, but not reliable. Now you can see here in the third diagram, this dot is on the line of, you can say that the small circle. And there is no consistency. Neither it is inside, it is on the borderline. Neither it is inside the circle, nor consistent. So it is neither reliable nor valid. But the fourth diagram you can see here, both reliable and valid. So that person will go to the Olympics to fight, to get some, you can say that the medal, because it is reliable also and it is valid also. It is measuring what it is supposed to measure and it is consistent also. So that should be your instrument to measure the data, to get the data. So that is the reliability and validity. So now we are coming to the business analytics, what we are talking about. What are the requirements I have told you? And we have already defined this business analytics also. So what it is saying, business analytics is the use of data, information, technology, statistical analysis, quantitative methods, and mathematical or computer-based to help the managers. In layman language, you have to understand, when I am talking about the analytics, there will be a use of statistics, there will be a use of software, there will be a use of business intelligence, computer-oriented things are required, where you will run software. You should have laptop, you should have desktop, you should have computer, all this software. So all these tools and techniques required to convert the raw data into the useful information to take the appropriate decision. So that is the business analytics. So what it is saying, it is the process of transferring the data into action through the analysis and insights in context of organizational decision making and problem solving. So business analytics is supported by the various tools as Microsoft Excel, Excel add-in, statistical packages, SPSS, SAS, Minitab, R programming, Python, Tableau, Power BI, so many things are there. Although Tableau and Power BI are known as the business intelligence tool, not the business analytics tool. The basic difference I have already told you, business analytics is forward-looking, business intelligence is backward. So these are the things. These are the perspective of business analytics. So these are the components you have to understand when you will go for the business analytics. Statistics, there is a role. So that's why when any particular student coming to our institute or any other institute, we see the background to give the, you can say that the business analytics is specialization. And there is a, you can say that the perception in the mind of the people that though the person who is from statistical background, computer background, he can do better in analytics. Definitely, because there is a use of statistics. Without using statistics, how we will go ahead for analytics? It is difficult. Statistics, data mining, business intelligence, information systems, simulation risk, visualization, Tableau and Power BI, we can use what if, modeling and one by one we will see that. So statistics, we mean method specially adapted to collection, analysis and interpretation of data for making the effective decision in various functional areas of management. So statistics will help you in collection of data, analysis of data and interpretation of data. So there is a use of statistics in analytics. Then business intelligence. So it is the process of gathering the information in the field of business. So it will convert the data into the information, then into the knowledge. So what exactly we are doing in analytics? We want to take the decision. How you can take the decision? if you have knowledge related to that. How we will get the knowledge? If you have information related to that. How we'll get the information? If you have data related to that. So data will provide you information. Information will enhance the knowledge, and knowledge will give you the proper information to take the decision. So data will give you information. Information will give you knowledge. Knowledge will give you decision making. Help you in decision making to take the appropriate decision. So that is the thing you have to see. Then data mining. So it is the focus on better understanding. There is a pattern among variable in the large data set using a variety of statistical and analytical tools. So that is known as the data mining, what we are talking about. So there is a data and there will be a cleaning of data. That is the data warehouse is there. From that, you have to take the data which is relevant to you. Relevant data you will select. And data mining means there are various tools and techniques you will use when you will get this relevant data. And then you will find a pattern in your data set. Once you will find a pattern in your data set, you will get the knowledge. And then you can take the appropriate decision. Our ultimate aim is to take the appropriate decision. That you have to understand. So there is a role of data mining. Then you can see a simulation and risk analysis. Simulation means what? On the basis of past data, what is going to happen in the future? That we want to check here. Simulation, we want to simulate. So on the basis of their past data there, we are trying to find out the probabilities related to that, all these things. And then we want to simulate what is going to happen in the future. And if we are going to take the decision, what is the risk involved in this? Percentage of risk. So that is also a part of analytics. So there is a role of statistics, there is a role of business intelligence, there is a role of data mining, there is a role of simulation and risk analysis. Then we are talking about the what if analysis. You have to find out the more than one options. If the A work, you can say that the method is not working, then what will be the alternative solutions to that? That you have to find out. Solution number one, solution number two, what are the alternative course of actions are available. Then we are talking about the visualization. Visualization is also a part of analytics. Tableau, Power BI. So data visualization, what it is doing visualization? Converting the raw data into the pictorial format or the graphical format. So why? It is easy to understand. You will be able to easily find out the pattern in the data. There is a bar chart, there is a pie chart. You will be able to see by seeing that particular diagram, you will be easily able to understand what is happening in my data. So there is a role of visualization. So visualization is also a part of, you can say that, the analytics. New patterns with interactive visualization, you can take the concept one step further by using the technology to drill down into charts and graphs. So if you have used this Tableau and Power BI, you will be able to find out. Drill down means what? That your data is showing, you can say that the 2011, 2012, 2013, 3 years data in a bar chart, you will be able to understand. Now you want to see it quarter-wise. So again, if you will click, you will be able to find out quarter number 1, quarter number 2, quarter number 3, quarter number 4 of 2011. And then you can say that the same for 2012, same for 2013. So that is the drill down we are talking about. You will be able to interact with the, you will be able to interact with the, you can say that the dashboard, and then you will be able to find it. I will show you. I'll show you all these things. Okay, so this is the drill down we are talking about. And why we are talking about the interactive dashboard. So if there is, you want to see only the top 5. So you have to move the cursor, you will be able to find out only, you can say that the top 5. If you want to see the top 7, and then again you have to move the cursor, you will be able to find out the top 7 performers or the customers, whatever it may be, if you want to see. So you are interacting with the data, or you can say that the dashboard, whatever the diagram or the picture is there. No one is there. By your own, you are interacting. So that's why it is known as the interactive visualization or interactive dashboard. Drill down, I have already told you. Not only you can see it is year-wise, you can see it's quarter-wise, you can see it month-wise, you can see it week-wise, day-wise, which type of things you want to see. So that is the role of visualization in analytics. Why we are doing all these things? What is our ultimate aim? To take the appropriate decision. If you tell me anything is required other than this, then last we are talking about the modeling and optimization. Modeling means what? There are various model in statistics and mathematics means the equations. There is an equation you have learned in our we have learned in our school days, y is equal to mx plus c. So this is a model. This is the simple linear regression model. Similarly, multiple linear regression model is there. Logistic regression model is there. So many models are there. So you have to develop a model related to your problem, related to your equation. And then optimization means you have to find the best solution. If it is your problem is it is related to minimization, you should find out the minimum value. If it is a maximization, you should get the maximum value. Okay. Business intelligence, someone is asking, you can say that the business intelligence, it is a part of business analytics. It will give you the information of backward looking. आगे चल के है, there are 4 types of analytics: descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. So descriptive and diagnostic are known as the backward looking. This will give you the information what is already happened or happening and why is it happened. This is the information will be given by descriptive and diagnostic. So that's why it is known as the backward looking. Whereas the business analytics, it is known as the forward looking, predictive analytics. What is going to happen in the future? But more or less we use business intelligence is business analytics like that. Sometimes in business analytics also we find out the descriptive and diagnostic analytics. So that's why it is there one of the component business, you can say that the intelligence is a part of business analytics. It will give you the information on the basis of data, what is already happened and why is it happened. So modeling and optimization. Various models we develop. Models are nothing but the equations. Now in modeling, you can see here which type of modeling we are talking about. I have given one example. This is a theoretical example. You wish to produce 2 products, Walkman and Watch TV. One company is there. Walkman takes 4 hours of electronic works and 2 hours of assembly. Watch TV takes 3 hours of electronic work and 1 hour of assembly. There are 240 hours of electronic work time and 100 hours of assembly time is available. Profit on a Walkman is ₹7 and profit on a Watch TV is ₹5. Then you have to formulate on the basis of this problem, you have to develop a equation. And then I will show you how to develop a equation. And once you will develop it, when you are converting into a equation means you are developing a model. That is the modeling we are talking about. So when you are doing analytics, you have to develop a model also. So I will show you by doing this particular example. So you can see. I will just reduce the size. क्या हो गया? So you can see here what it is saying. You wish to produce 2 products, Walkman and Watch TV. So what we are assuming, there are 4 components. Only X is equal to number of Walkmans. Okay. And then Y is equal to number of Watch TV. Watch TV we are producing. We are producing. Correct. So what it is saying, profit on a Walkman is ₹7 and profit on a Watch TV is ₹5. So if I will produce 1 Walkman and sell it, I will get a profit of ₹7. If we will produce 2, then I will get a profit of 14, but I am producing X. So what is the profit I will get? Can you tell me? You can put it in the chat box. For similarly for Watch TV, it is 5Y. If any confusion is there, please let me know. That is the max z is equal to. This is known as the objective function, we call it. Max z is equal to 7x plus 5y. So the company will earn a profit of 7x plus 5y. Is there any confusion? If you are clear about it, yes, 7x plus 5y. Absolutely correct. So this is our objective function, we call it. Objective function. How the modeling is happening. This is the one example I am giving you. There are so many things are there. In regression, it will be there. Logistic regression, it will be there. Decision tree, it will be there. Random forest, it will be there. So 7x plus 5y. Now what it is saying, what are the constraints, means the limitations. Walkman takes 4 hours of electronic work and 2 hours of assembly. Watch TV takes 3 hours of electronic work and 1 hour of assembly. So if I want to, you can say that the produce one Walkman, how many hours of electronic work I have to do? 4 hours. If I will make 2, then 8 hours. 3, then 12 hours. But how many Walkman I am making? 4. So total number of electronic hours will be 4x plus. For watch TV, it is 3 hours electronic work. So total will be 3y. 4x plus 3y. And there are 240 hours of electronics works available. So it should be less than how much? 240. How many? 240. So this is known as electronic hours constraint. Then second, what we are talking about? 2 hours assembly. If we are producing one Walkman, 2 hours of assembly is required. So what will be the value? 2x. Because we are producing x number of Walkman. And for watch TV, how much it is taking? 1. 1y. Matlab only y is less or equal to what will be the value? 100. And again, x is greater or equal to 0 and y is also greater or equal to 0. This is known as the non-negativity condition. Yes or no? If we are not producing any Walkman, what will be the value? X is equal to 0. Similarly for y, watch TV also, it cannot be negative. So this is the model we have developed. mxz is equal to 5x plus 7y subjected to 4x plus 3y less or equal to 240, 2x plus y less or equal to 100, and then x comma y is greater or equal to 0. So on the basis of this theoretical problem, we have developed this model. And there are various, you can say that the methods are there. Graphical method is there. Simplex method is there. You can use it to solve this particular problem. So that is known as the modeling and optimization. That is known as the modeling and optimization. So all these things will play in analytics. There is a role of all these things. So you have to do the modeling also. And then once you will do the model, you have to find out the best solution. Right now, we are not finding the solution. When the right time will come, we will solve how to do that. Simplex method we can use. We can use the graphical method is there. There are so many methods are there. We can use that. So first, development of model and then optimization. So that's why what I have written in the heading, modeling and optimization. If the problem is related to maximization, your value should give you the maximum value. Your output, your objective function should give you the maximum value. If your problem is related to the minimization, when your problem is of minimization, if it is related to cost, time, distance, loss, etc., then it is of minimization. If your problem is related to profit, sales, production, etc., then it is of maximization. So these are the various perspectives of business analytics. These are the things that will be used. Now you can see here, directly we will go to this, there is a terminology. यहाँ पे अपने को आना चाहिए था, then we'll go backward. इसको अभी population and then we'll this. Slowly we'll go to data. Population and sample is there, we'll do it later on. So you can see here types of data. So there are two types of data. One is known as the qualitative data and another is known as the quantitative data. Can any one of you put it in the chat box that quickly what is the quantitative data and what is the qualitative data? Slowly we are coming towards data. We have to understand the data first, then we'll go to the analysis part. Qualitative and quantitative data, quickly. Tell me. Okay, kindly sir, after the session, share the PPTs. That we will do, sir, later on. Please be involved in the lecture. Don't go behind the PPTs and the recording and all these things. Quantitative can be measured, qualitative can be theoretical. Yeah. Yes. So what we are from the name itself, the data which is in the form of numbers or can be converted in the form of numbers, then it is known as the quantitative data. Then it is known as the quantitative data. The already data which is in the form of numbers or can be converted into in the form of numbers, then it is known as quantitative data. Okay, and the data which is in the form of words, sentences, descriptive in nature, then it is known as the qualitative data. Someone has written like the theoretical. So descriptive in nature, numerical data is quantitative data. Quantitative data measures numeric data, yes. Qualitative measures quality aspects. ऐसा नहीं है. Quality measures quality. There is no meaning. It doesn't mean that the quantitative data doesn't provide quality. It is not like that. Qualitative data, it will be in theoretical format. It will be in descriptive format. It cannot be converted into numbers like that. Theory. So if I will ask someone a question, why you have taken admission in this particular college, so he has to answer what is the reason behind it. And if I will give him, you can say that the certain options, how you come to know about our institute, through website, through friends, through WhatsApp group, or whatever it may be. So it can be converted in the form of numbers. So if I will ask that why you have taken admission in this, so there one person will give some other answer, someone will give some other answer, and all these things. So we can summarize all. We can find out what are the various aspects. We can convert into the various factors that we can do. So that is the if your data is in the form of words, sentences, then it is of qualitative data. Quantitative data, which is in the form of numbers already, means what? Which type of data? Like the age of the respondent. So कोई 20, 25, 26 ऐसा बोल रहा है तो वो क्वांटिटी में है. Weight of the respondent क्वांटिटी में है. Like you can see here the Likert scale in management science, we are converting the 5-point Likert scale, strongly agree to strongly disagree. Again, we are converting it is in the form of numbers. So that's why I have given you the definition that if the data is yes, qualitative data or open-ended question, bilkul sahi. Open-ended questions are qualitative data. So open-ended questions provide you, provides you the qualitative data. ऐसा बोल सकते हैं आप. Close-ended question provides you the quantitative data. So we will deal with the quantitative data, not the qualitative data. We will deal with the quantitative data, not the qualitative data. Qualitative data के लिए हम लोग sensitive analysis वो सब कर सकते हैं, but for this particular subject, data analysis using R, we will deal with quantitative data. Now you can, again, we'll come to this evolution of analytics. So as we have discussed, it is known as the evolution of analytics. It is known as the types of analytics. It is also known as the scope of analytics. So there are 4 types. What are the 4 types? And these 4 types will be used in business analytics, will be used in marketing analytics. Everywhere, these 4 types, descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive, will be used. All these things. So these are the things will be used in any type of, you can say that the analytics we are talking about. Business analytics, these 4 things will come. Marketing analytics, HR analytics, everywhere these things will come. Okay. So what is the descriptive analytics we are talking about? What is happening in my business or what is already happened? That is known as the descriptive analytics. Past data, on the basis of past data we analysis. Suppose what are the different types of statistics comes under descriptive analytics, that I will tell you in detail later on, but certain example, mean. How we will find out mean? That should be some data should be there. Then only will be able to find out mean. So you will add all the numbers divided by number of observations. Similarly, median, similarly, mode, standard deviation, all these things. So under if I am talking about the descriptive statistics, then you have to see what are the statistics or analytics, what are the statistics will be used under descriptive analytics. So पहला तो होता है central tendency. And when I am talking about the central tendency means mean, median, and mode. Second is measure of dispersion. Means all these things, range, quartile deviation, standard deviation, mean deviation, all these things will come. Then third is the skewness and kurtosis. It will give you how the data is distributed. Then fourth is the visualization. Certain visualization will come under descriptive analytics. Pie chart, bar chart, all these things will come under the descriptive analytics. क्योंकि bar chart कैसे बनाएंगे? That should be your data. Percentage should be there or the entire data should be there. You will be in a position to convert it in terms of percentage. So when I'm talking about the descriptive analytics or statistics, these are the things will be used on whatever the data you have already available. So either it is already happened, past, or it is happening, current data. अब तक, आज तक, अभी तक इतना data आया है. So you can find out mean. So that's why it is saying what's happening in my business or what is already happened. Okay, so mean, median, mode you can find out, measure of dispersion, standard deviation, skewness, kurtosis, or graphical representation you can find out in descriptive analytics. Then we are talking about the diagnostic analytics. Diagnostic analytics, what it is saying? Why is it happening? It will give you the root cause analysis. Okay. It is the ability to isolate the confounding information. Confounding information means what? Suppose I am trying to find out the relationship between advertisement expenses and sales. But maybe there is an influence of many other things. So you will be able to find out the influence of other confounding variables. कि दूसरे प्राइस का क्या इफेक्ट हो रहा है. If our product is, you can say that what is our brand image, what is the perception of the people about our company, what is the effect of all these things related to whatever the advertisement expenses we are doing, that is okay. And we are trying to measure the advertisement expenses and sales. But what are the influence of others? That you will be able to find out. Why is it happening? Suppose you have started advertising your product. After 1 month, there is a huge increase in sales. So you are assuming that due to the advertisement, it is happening. But it is not happening due to the advertisement. There is a strike in the factory of your competitor. So their product is not coming to the market. So that's why the people are, as a substitute, people are buying your product. So that's why sales increases. So that you will be able to find out in the diagnostic analytics. So you will be able to see what is the use of this confounding variable. Why is it happening? ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? Root cause analysis. So why we call it is a evolution of analytics? Because one person who has only information of descriptive analytics, one person who has the information of descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics both, who will be able to take the better decision? Can you tell me? एक आदमी के पास सिर्फ डिस्क्रिप्टिव एनालिटिक्स का इंफॉर्मेशन है, वो भी आउटपुट देगा, और एक आदमी के पास डिस्क्रिप्टिव प्लस डायग्नोस्टिक दोनों का है. Who will be able to take better decision? Obviously, descriptive plus diagnostic जिसके पास है, both. So that's why it is a evolution of analytics, better and better. Then the third, we are talking about the predictive analytics. From the name itself, you can able to understand we are able to predict what is going to happen in the future on the basis of past data. On the basis of past data, we'll be able to predict what is going to happen in the future. So that is the predictive analytics. So किसी के पास predictive analytics है, तीनों टाइप के डेटा है, तो वो और efficient होगा to take the decision. Then next is the prescriptive analytics. So what is the prescriptive analytics? You have what do I need to do? Means what? You have n number of solutions are there. Prescriptive analytics will give you the information which is the best one. जैसे कोई एक काम करवाना है, you want to do a particular job, and three people can do a job. So first 3 people can do the job in 3 days. Second, 4 days. Third, 3 people, 5 days. Fourth, 3 people, 6 days. Which is the best solution? The 3 days wale people. So it will give you the result in prescriptive analytics. What is the best solution? Prescriptive. There are n number of alternatives are available. Out of all these alternatives, which is the best one? So prescriptive analytics will give you. So once again, I am repeating. Descriptive analytics will give you the, और ये हम लोग क्या करेंगे, एक एक करके ये सारी चीज पढ़ेंगे. We'll study this descriptive analytics, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive. And you will apply all these things in various domains of business. Then it becomes the business analytics. If you are using only in marketing, it becomes the marketing analytics. If you are using it in HR, it becomes the HR. So what is the descriptive analytics? Descriptive analytics provides you the information that what is already happened or what is happening. Diagnostic analytics is providing you the information why is it happening, root cause analysis. Predictive analytics is providing the information that what is going to happen in the future. Prescriptive analytics is providing the information that what is the best solution out of the various alternatives available to you. So that is the 4 types of analytics are there. This is also known as the scope of analytics, and this is also known as the evolution of analytics. Now, what are the steps in data analytics and business analytics? So what you can see here. First, decide on the objective. There should be some objective. So in your data analysis process, you must begin with the right set of questions. Some examples include how we can reduce the production cost without sacrificing the quality of the products. This is our objective. We want to reduce the production cost without sacrificing the quality of the products. So that is our objective. What are the questions are there? This is a question. Then we will convert it in the form of an objective. This is in the question form. This is not in the objective form. Objective will start from 2. But this is a question, research question we have. So this research question will be converted in the form of an objective. Again, the second question it is saying, what are the some ways to increase the sales opportunities with our current resources? Do customer view our brand in a favorable way or not? Etc. So these are the questions. On the basis of these questions, what your organization, your management wants to find out will convert it in the form of a topic. So in the form of a objectives. Then second, set the measurement priorities. You want to measure this week-wise, month-wise, year-wise, which type of measurement you want to do. So you have to see what we exactly want to find out. We want to find out weekly basis, monthly basis, annually, or what? What is our, on the 5 years gap, what we want to find out? So what is your measurement? That you have to see. Then third number, we are talking about the data collection. You will collect the data. And when you are collect the data, there is a role of instrument, your instrument. And your instrument should be valid and reliable both. So data collection is the process of collecting information on the targeted variable for your analysis. In this case, collecting accurate and honest data we are talking about. Okay, so that is the collection of data we are talking about. It may be the secondary data, it may be the primary data. That we'll see later on. Then we are talking about the data cleaning. As I am talking about, what is data cleaning? Before you will do the analysis, you have to see that your data is proper or not. As per the requirement, is it there or not? So data cleaning is the process of correcting the error. Some duplication is there. एक row 2 बार आ गया है, same data. You have to remove one. Such data required for relevant and removing the duplicate values, identifying the outliers in the data. Outliers in the data means what? Suppose there are 50 students in a class. 45 students have got the marks between 40 to 45. And 5 students have got the marks 100 out of 100. And suppose if you are finding the average of all these things, we are getting 60 60 marks. Means what we are? The first class. Mean the first division all the students have done, all the 50 students. Average. But what exactly happening in this data? Due to the outliers, 5 students, they are improving the performance of these 45. Just an example I am giving. So these 5 students are outlier. Our 90% of the students are getting the marks between 40 to 45 only. Are you getting my point? So our majority, 90% of the students are in the third division. So if we will take the final data, due to the outliers, it is taking you to the 60%. And if you are taking the decision on the basis of 60%, it will be a disaster. So before doing the analysis, you have to check that the outliers and all these things. Because your majority of the students, 90% of the students are getting the marks, they are very weak, 40 to 45. Due to these 5, 6, 10 students, they are dragging it till 60%. वो उसके लिए हो रहा है आउटलायर की वजह से और आप खुशी मनाएंगे कि ये our all the average marks of our students is 60%. No, in this case there will be a disaster. So that's why you have to see identifying the outliers in your data, and then you have to remove the outliers, and then you have to go for the analysis. So that is the thing. Yes, the data points far away from the outliers, there is a formula for that. There is a formula for that to define the outliers. We will come all these things. Now, analysis of data. So various data analysis techniques can be used to understand, interpret, and derive the conclusion based on the requirements. These are the tools. Microsoft Excel. Excel also uses statistics. अगर आप उसको कोरिलेशन निकालने के लिए बोलेंगे, so there is a formula theoretically. When these softwares were not there, people used to do it manually. It is always there. Mean you can find out manually. Logistic regression you can find out manually. We have seen y is equal to mx plus c. R, Python, Tableau. These are the tools. They have certain commands, certain algorithm. If we give that correlation analysis formula is already fed in this. In Excel also, in R also, in SPSS also, in Python also. Same formula. So that's why when you will use Excel or R or Python or SPSS, Tableau, SAS, anything, the result will be same. Because it uses the same formula. Because there is no change in statistics in the formula of correlation analysis, regression analysis, or any other chi-square test or t-test or whatever you can say. अगर वो change होने लगेगा तो problem हो जाएगा. There is no change. So that is the thing. Statistics will be same. There is no change. These are the tools that will help you. Earlier we used to remember like the formula of standard deviation. Then we used to get shabashi from our teachers. Very good, very good. Under root, you can say that the xi minus x bar is square summation and all these things. What is the formula? Now you do not have to remember all these things. There is a command. You put the command SD and then attach the data, you will get the result in a fraction of a second. So when you are in PG, postgraduate, also you are studying central tendency, means the mean median mode. When we were in our school days, then also we have studied in central tendency. Why? Because at that particular time, our ultimate aim was to get the answer. At that time, our teacher didn't tell us that what is the use in the decision-making process. We were happy in getting the answers. Mean itna aaya, median itna aaya, mode itna aaya, standard deviation itna aaya. Now here, why we are studying? On the basis of decision-making. If there are two things and the mean value is this, median value is this, what is the decision I should take? That is the here decision-making process. Otherwise, हम लोगों ने तो मीन मीडियन मोड तो हम लोगों ने 5वीं 6वीं क्लास में पढ़ लिया है. We have already studied in 5th and 6th standard, I think so. Why again we should study in PG level? Because at that particular time, they didn't tell us about the use of all these things. Here we will learn how to use it in the industry. That is the thing. If I'm talking about the correlation analysis, we have got the formula when I was in, you can say that the BSc mathematics or MSc mathematics. I got the, and then at that particular time, we're happy in getting answers only. What is the application of this particular aspect, where I can use it, that I was not knowing. That is the major problem in our education system. because we do not tell our, you can say that the students, what is the use in the industry of this correlation analysis, regression analysis, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, in which situation you have to use this. That is the actual learning that you have to teach to our students. Then interpretation of result. Last, does the analysis answers your objectives? When we are doing our PhDs, our ultimate aim is to find out whatever the objectives we have formulated in the introduction chapter, are we getting it in the analysis and all these things? Are we able to fulfill our objectives? Does the analysis help you to defend against any objections? Is there any limitation on your conclusions? Any angles you haven't considered? That will be your limitation. If your interpretation of data holds up under all these questions and consideration, then you likely have come to a productive conclusion. Again, create a report of your analysis in a format as required by stakeholders for business decisions. Again, you have to take the feedback from the stakeholder, might result in additional analysis. No. If you have given the accuracy of this, it is not. Again, you have to improve the accuracy. During the corona time, we have taken the Covishield and Covaxin. What was the accuracy? 70%, 75%. What does it mean? It means अगर 100 लोगों को दिया तो 70 लोगों को फिर से नहीं होगा, 25 लोगों को हो भी सकता है. There might be a possibility. तो हम लोगों ने, बहुत लोगों ने देखा कि बहुत लोगों ने बोला कि भाई उन्होंने तो लिया था फिर भी उसको हो गया. So we have to see this. And then again, this is the process in the industry to show your client, this is the accuracy of my model. Are you convinced on this accuracy? He will say yes, then you can deploy the model. If not, then again you have to revise. You have to incorporate certain things if you can say that the client is not convinced about your output. So this is the process of data analysis that we have discussed. So these are the certain hiring trends that we need not have to discuss here. Hiring trends of analytics. Certain profiles. So you can see a useful tools in data science, database tools which are used to store the data, SQL, MongoDB, MySQL, Oracle, RDBMS, and all these things. Data transformation tool, which are very useful to transform the raw data into useful information. That I have already told you. Microsoft Excel, Python, Apache, then R languages and all these things. Data modeling tools. So these are the tools you can see here. Then the data visualization tool that I have told you. Tableau, Power BI, Microsoft Excel, R, Python. So these are the useful tools in, you can say that the data science that are used in industry. Okay. Now the most important aspect. Slowly we are going towards, you can say that the data. This is the first thing we have to see if we are doing any type of data analytics. I've given you the background and everything. Now this is the first thing. If you will go anywhere, this will be the first thing you have to study. You have to understand the data. You have to understand the data classification. Then only you will be able to apply various types of, you can say that the statistical test using various softwares. There are n number of statistical tests are available. It is available in Google also. Okay, but when to use which statistical test, that is the important thing that you have to understand. And it will give you the, you can say that the idea from here, the data classification. It is a syllabus. This is there in the syllabus of, you can say that the research methodology also, business research method also. So this is known as the primary level of measurement, we call it. Primary level of measurement, or it is known as the data classification. So whenever you will get a quantitative data, the data will be classified into 4 categories. So whenever you will get a data in an Excel sheet, the data will be either in nominal scale, ordinal, interval, or ratio. So that's why it is known as the data classification or primary level of measure. Then you will be able to understand if my data is in nominal scale, what I have to do. Again, you have to see if my data is in ordinal scale, then what I have to do. If my data is in interval scale or ratio scale, what I have to do. What are the statistical tests required? Then you will be able to understand what are the statistical tests. then there is a software is there. If you want to do it in R, you do it in R. If you want to do it in Excel, you do it in Excel. If you want to do it in SPSS, then you can do it in SPSS. That is the thing. Okay. So till now, anything, any problem you have, if you will ask me to repeat any particular aspect, can you tell me anything? Okay, if there are no problem, then I will just, you can say that the brief about the data classification, and then we'll take a break of 10 minutes. So you can see here nominal scale. Please be careful if you really want to learn, you can say that the business analytics. This is the starting point. This is the starting point of analytics. Then only you will be able to understand which are the different statistical tests are used in different situations. The first thing that we are talking about the nominal scale. What is the nominal scale? When numbers assigned to objects serve as labels or identification or categorization, then the such numbers are in nominal scale. Such numbers have no quantitative meaning. Only it is used for the, you can say that the identification purpose. Are you getting my point? Just like the numbering of the cricket players. Mahendra Singh Dhoni 7, Virat Kohli 18. Rohit Sharma 43 or 44, 43 I think so. Sachin Tendulkar 10. So this is only for identification. We cannot say Virat Kohli is 18, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is 7. So 18 minus 7 is equal to 11. So we cannot say that the Virat Kohli is playing 11 times better than Mahendra Singh Dhoni. There is no meaning of these numbers. Ganguly used to wear a jersey of 99. तो क्या वो सबसे अच्छे खेलते थे? ऐसा नहीं है. It is a number to identification. There is no quantitative meaning of these numbers. Then such type of data is known as nominal scale. If we are giving male is equal to 1, female is equal to 2. So male is number 1, it doesn't mean that the males are better than females or vice versa. It is only for the identification purpose. If your data is related to this, then it is known as the nominal data, or your data is in nominal scale. In your questionnaire, if there is a yes no question, then it is in nominal. Yes, either yes or no. Male and female, nominal. If there is a region, north, south, east, west, nominal. Name of the cities, name of the states, name of the countries, all are in nominal scale. Are you getting my point? So such data are in nominal scale. नंबर जो हम उसको assign करते हैं, there is no quantitative meaning. North is equal to 1, south is equal to 2, east is equal to 3, west is equal to 4. You can't say that the north is better than south or south is better than north or इसे ये कर. It is only for the identification purpose. Number of cities and all these things. Male, female, I have already told you. If you want to add here the male, female, and transgender also, that is well and good. But then there will be 3 categories, 4 categories. जो भी करना है आपको वो आप कर सकते हैं. And these are the categorical data. Categorical data means nominal scale is a categorical scale. Means what? There will no value will come in between 1 and 2. 1.5 नहीं आएगा. So one thing, have you understood? So nominal scale, it is only used for the identification and categorization. Okay. So the only permissible operations on such numbers is counting, percentage, and mode. By chi-square and binomial test are the inferential test. We'll talk it later on. First, we are talking about the descriptive statistics. So what I am talking about, counting, percentage, and mode. So in nominal scale, when we are talking, what are the things you can calculate? I have already told you. Counting, percentage, and mode. This is the nominal scale definition. Nominal scale. Nominal scale. Now suppose I am talking about we have collected a data from, I am giving you an example to understand this. We have collected a data from 100 respondents. We have collected a data from 100 respondents in which 40 are male and 60 is equal to female. 60 is equal to female. And male is represented by 1, matlab coded by 1, and then female is coded by 2. So what will happen? This is the situation. So there will be Excel sheet. In that Excel sheet, what will happen? There is a variable known as just gender. And in that particular gender, male, female, male, female, male, female type, something is there, or 1 to 1, 2 will be there, or in which that the 60 female will be there and 40 male will be there. What it is saying? What are the permissible? Counting, percentage, and mode. The permissible analysis we can do with the nominal scale is equal to counting. How we can say that the counting? So I can say whatever the data I have collected in which 40 are male and 60 are female. Please tell me, have I written anything wrong? Correct है? 40 male है, 60 female है. This is the counting. Yes or no? So counting is permissible. Okay. So if we will make a table, male is equal to 40 and female is equal to 60, that will be okay in a tabular form. Not an issue. So nominal scale, that you can do the counting. Second, I have written percentage. Percentage I have written. So what again I am saying, whatever the data I have collected in which 40% are male and 60% are female. Am I doing wrong anything? It is correct. So male is equal to 40%, female is equal to 60%. Correct hai? So I have shown you two things are correct. Counting and percentage. The third important thing is mode. Mode. So what is the definition of mode? Tell me. What is the definition of mode? The number which is occurring most of the time. Correct? Mode. So what we are doing here? So 1, 1, how many times it will be there? Please let me know. And 2, 2, how many times it will be there? Just I have taken. So what is the definition of mode? The number which is occurring most of the time. So in our Excel sheet, 1 will come how many times? 40 times. 2 will come how many times? 60 times. So which number is occurring most of the time? Please let me know. 2. So our mode is equal to 2. Mode is equal to 2. And what is the mode? Mode 2 is equal to female. Female means what? Whatever the data we have collected in which the female are more. So this is the correct thing. This is the correct thing. So these three things are applicable when your data is in nominal. Now you can ask me a question that, sir, why we can't calculate mean? Let's try mean. Now you will tell me what is the definition of mean. So mean, what is it is saying? Addition of all the numbers divided by number of observations. So we have how many? 1, 40 into 1, 40. Plus we have how many 2? 60 into 2. Divided by? What will be the value? Can you tell me what will be the value? Divided by 100. Number of observations. 40 male and 60 female. So what will be the value? Is equal to 40 plus 1, 60 plus 2. So 40 plus 120 divided by 100. That is equal to 160 divided by 100. That is equal to 1.6. That is equal to 1.6. Is there any meaning of that? No. Either it will be a male or it will be a female. So the mean is permissible only when your data is continuous. It is a categorical data. इसको ना तो हम लोग मेल बोल सकते हैं ना फीमेल बोल सकते. अब बोलेंगे सर बीच में ट्रांसजेंडर ले लो, हाँ तो ले सकते हैं 1, 2 and 3. सो फिर 1 और 2 के बीच में कोई वैल्यू नहीं आना चाहिए, 2 और 3 के बीच में नहीं आना चाहिए, either 1, 2 or 3. So this is not permissible. That's why mean is not permissible. So that's why I haven't written mean. Similarly, you cannot calculate the median also. If there is a even number, you have to take the two numbers in between. If it is an odd number, then there will be a single value come in middle. But if it is an even number, two numbers will come. And then for these two numbers, again, you have to find out the mean only. So that's why median is also not permissible if your data is in nominal data. If you will give the command in Excel, Excel will give you. Excel doesn't understand. So that's why I have told you there is a human intervention is required. And if in a nominal data, if you are calculating mean, median, then you are not doing a mistake, you are doing a blunder. And if you are sending it to any person, and he is a statistician, he understands the data and the various statistical tests, he will understand that you doesn't know anything. So that's why I have told you, you have to start it from here, nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. यहाँ से चालू होता है. This is the base. It will tell you which test is applicable where. People will ask you these questions only whenever you attend these particular aspects, when to use which statistical test. So it starts from here. It will give you the idea. So you cannot find out, if your data is nominal, you cannot find out mean. If your data is nominal, you cannot find out median. Now I am asking you a question. Can we find out from this particular data standard deviation? If yes, why? If no, why? Give me this answer and then we'll take a break. Can we find out standard deviation from this particular data? If yes, why? If no, why? You can unmute yourself also. Directly you can answer me or you can write it in the chat box as you wish. And then we'll take a break for 10 minutes. Anyone? I have told you we can find mode. We cannot find out mean and median. My question is, can we find out standard deviation? You know standard deviation, we have done it in our school days. Yes or no? Unmute yourself. Absolutely correct. Please go to the chat box. This is the answer expected. So what it is saying, I have already told you mean is not permissible in nominal data. And there is a use of mean in standard deviation. So how standard deviation will be calculated? Definitely standard deviation is not calculated. And you can give a generalized statement here, wherever there is a use of mean in the formula of any statistical test, nominal data में वो calculate नहीं होगा. We cannot find out. That cannot be. So for nominal data, there is a use of mean in correlation formula. There is a use of mean in regression. Also, ये जो y is equal to mx plus c आता है, कहां से आता है? Y minus y bar is equal to byx, x minus x bar. So what is the bar? Mean. So in that particular nominal data में ये use नहीं कर सकते. That is the thing. So conceptually, you should be very much clear. So first we have given that the mean is not permissible, that we have already proved here. 1.6 value we are getting. So if mean is not permissible, standard deviation is also not permissible. Standard deviation is also not permissible. Okay? Standard deviation is not permissible. So we'll take a break and then we'll start with ordinal scale. Okay. Sir, everything will give you at the right time. Don't be in a hurry to do so many things at a time. Okay, so please take a break of 10 minutes and then again we'll resume at 11:43. Okay, so I hope you all are back. So again, we'll start. Yes, should I start? So we have seen that when your data is in nominal scale, you can go for counting, you can go for percentage, you can go for mode. Okay, and then certain inferential statistics are also there. Chi-square test hai, binomial tests are there, so many things. So right now we are not discussing that. Right now we are discussing about the descriptive analytics. If you will go in analytics, then two broadly we have divided. One is the descriptive and other is known as the inferential statistics. Okay, so we are not talking right now, we are not talking about the inferential, we are talking about the descriptive only. And when I am talking about the descriptive means I have already told you what are the four things coming under descriptive: central tendency, measure of dispersion, skewness and kurtosis, and graphical representation. Graphical representation. तो इसमें आप बार चार्ट भी बना सकते हैं, सिंपल बार चार्ट, 40 मेल एंड देन 60 फीमेल, 40% male, 60% female. So bar chart will be there. Pie chart will also be there. 40% male, 60% female. So that you can make if your data is in nominal scale. Now we are talking about the, you can say that the ordinal scale. So you can see here ordinal scale. Next we'll go to ordinal scale, what it is saying. So what it is saying, when assign numbers to indicate the relationship between entities in terms of greater than, equal or less than, but do not state how much greater than or less than, then the scale is known as ordinal scale. And ordinal scale is also known as ranking scale. Ordinal scale is also known as ranking scale. So there will be a rank in ordinal scale. Okay. So here there is one more attribute you are getting. Identification is there. Plus another attribute, if I will go to Excel sheet, I have written in nominal scale, only identification is there. So in ordinal, what will be there? Ordinal identification will be there. Plus another attribute will come into the picture, that is known as the ranking you can do. Ranking you can do. Means you can say which is greater than or less than. So if I will give you a, you can say that the five Bollywood actresses or actors and actresses, and then in terms of their beauty, if I will ask you that please rank them. So you can say that the most beautiful, number one, then second, then third, then fourth. As per your opinion, your you can say that the whatever your consideration, you will rank all these things. But if I will ask you what is the difference in terms of beauty between one actress to the other actress, how you will measure that? You will not be able to find out. Difference you will not be able to find out. Then it is known as the ranking scale. You can say less than or greater than, but you cannot find out the difference. If you are seeing a, you can say that the reality show, dance is going on, singing is going on, then you will find this is the best first performance. They are the best. Then the second, third, this will be there as per your thing. So, but if I will ask you, what is the difference? It is very difficult to find out. Then if you will say that the sound quality, I have given the example of 3 TV brands, the sound quality. तो ये अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा सुनने में लग रहा है. Then second one, then the third one. But what is the difference between these two? So you will not be able to find out. Then it is known as the ordinal scale. Ordinal scale. It is known as the ranking scale. It is known as the ranking scale. Then if it is in ranking scale, what are the permissible statistics you can find out? So you can see here. The mean, we cannot conclude about the difference between the values of two objects. So we can calculate the median, we can calculate the quartiles, we can calculate the deciles, we can calculate the percentiles. So there is a data set. You can find out the middle point. You can find out the data, you can divide into quartiles, means the data set will be divided into 4 parts. 4 parts means there will be a 25% data below it, 75% data above it. In 50%, 50% wala data below it, 50% above it. Then the 75% data below it, and then 25% data above it. So if you are dividing the data into 4 parts, then it is known as the quartiles. If you are dividing into 10 parts, then it is known as the deciles. Now you will find out the percentiles. Nowadays, you are not getting the, you can say that the marks in terms of, you can say that the total marks. We are getting the ranking. In CT also, there is a rank. And when you will find out the mark sheet, you will find out the percentiles. Percentiles. So what they are doing on the basis of marks only, they are finding the ranks. The student who has the highest marks, rank number 1, rank number 2. But in terms of marks, if you will see, you will be able to find out the difference. What is the difference between the marks? Are you getting my point? We are talking about the ranks, when marks will not be there. But from marks also, you can convert it in terms of ranks. So what they are doing nowadays, from the marks, they are converting in terms of ranks. And then you can say that the finding the percentiles. So if you have 90 percentiles, what does it mean? It means that the 90% of the students below you and the 10% of the students above. So in case of ranking data, you can find out median, quartiles, deciles, percentiles, and all these things. Rank order correlation is there. That is known as the Spearman's rank correlation. It is an inferential statistic. So that's why I'm not talking about this rank order. In the previous nominal also, I didn't talk about the chi-square test and binomial test. That we will do later on. So that is the thing. So median, you will be able to find out because the data is in ranking. Here also, you cannot find out the mean. Here also, we cannot find out the mean. Okay. So mostly these nominal and ordinal scale are known as the categorical scale. It gives you a category. In case of ordinal, you can say that the one is less than or greater than, that is there, but for the different category. But in case of nominal, that also you cannot say. That also you cannot say. Then the next scale we are talking about, that is the interval scale. That is the interval scale. Interval scale. So in case of interval scale, identification will be there, ranking will also be there, plus the another important attribute is that is the difference is there. So one attribute, it is increasing. So if I will ask you, out of these 3 scales, which is the better one? Can you tell me? अभी मैंने interval बताया नहीं है, but you tell me which is the better one. Obviously interval, absolutely correct. Because wherever you are getting more and more information, you are able to interpret the data in the most efficient manner, and then you will be able to apply the many statistical tests on that particular aspect. Are you getting my point? So वो बेहतर है जहाँ पे वहां सिर्फ हम लोग आइडेंटिफिकेशन ही कर सकते हैं. जितना चीज हम लोग अप्लाई कर पाएंगे उतना इंफॉर्मेशन विल बी एबल टू गेट. So as much as information we'll be able to get, as much as you can say that the analysis will be able to do, as much as information we'll get, and then our, you can say that the decision making will be more appropriate. Okay, so these 2 scales are known as the categorical scale. Nominal and ordinal are known as the categorical scale, and interval and ratio scales are known as the continuous scale. Continuous means what? In layman language, you can understand whatever the data you will find out or the analysis you will do, the value will come in decimal also. The value will come in decimal also. The value will come in decimal also. So here you can find out the ratio. Ratio also, ratio. So first we'll discuss about the interval scale, and then we'll come to the ratio scale. So these 2 scales are known as the continuous scale. Continuous means the data will be in decimal also. Whereas In case of nominal scale, it cannot be, you cannot find out the, you can say that the decimal value. Interval scale. So we'll discuss this. What it is saying? When assigned numbers are such that the difference in numbers is valid but not the ratios. So here what it is saying? The data will be of identification you can do, ranking you can do, and you can find out the difference also. But you cannot find out the ratio. रेशियो मतलब डिवीजन आप नहीं कर सकते इंटरवल स्केल में. 5-point Likert scale is an interval scale. 5-point Likert scale is an interval scale in terms of management science. Economics वाले उसको ordinally मानते हैं. But in management we consider interval scale. You can say that as a continuous. So here it is saying that in case of nominal scale, only identification was there. In case of ordinal scale, identification plus ranking. In case of interval scale, identification plus ranking plus difference. So main attribute of interval is difference. Main attribute of ordinal is ranking. Main attribute of nominal is identification. So हम लोग उसी पे जाने जाते हैं. Identification, ranking and difference. But you cannot find out the ratio. That is the problem. And then without example, you will not be able to understand. So what it is saying, in this scale, there is no true zero indicating the absence of characteristic. Here, whatever the zero value we are finding, that zero is not an absolute zero. It is an arbitrary zero. How it is an arbitrary zero, that I will give you an example. So in interval scale, we will discuss. So we'll take the example of temperature. We'll take the example of temperature. And then I will give you certain data. So if I will ask you, the inside the room, the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. And outside the room, the temperature is, you can say that the 40 degrees Celsius. Correct? Inside the temperature, inside the room, the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. Or outside the room, sorry, outside the room, the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. So my point is, I am asking you, can we say that the outside temperature is twice than the inside temperature? Give me answer, yes or no. And I will ask you a certain question after that. Can you say outside temperature is twice than the inside temperature? Some people have said no, some people have said yes. Okay. Now we'll do some more clarity in this. अब मैं इसको थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ा लेता हूं. I'll put some value. That is -5, then -1, then 0 and all. Okay. And then here I will put thus also, like this. Okay. So this is 20. This is this. Now someone has, the person who has said yes. Why you are saying yes? Because you are considering this 0 as a baseline. Yes or no? And then from 0 to 20 and 0 to 40, there is a twice. This is the point? Yes? It is saying that the twice, 0 you have taken the base. Okay. Now what I can tell you an example, this 0 is not a true 0. You will ask me what you are saying. What is the meaning of this? This 0 is an arbitrary 0. Again, there is no clarity. Arbitrary 0 means it is looking like a 0, but it is not a 0. Again, there is no clarity. Now, again, I will give you. This 0 is behaving just like some other number. If you will compare -5 degrees Celsius and 0 degrees Celsius, which is more warmer? Definitely 0 degrees Celsius is more warmer. -10 degrees Celsius and 0 degrees Celsius is 0 degrees Celsius is more warmer. So this 0 is an arbitrary. This is behaving just like a number. If you will compare in comparison to -5, it is better. -1, it is better. Whereas if we compare it if in with respect to 10, then the warmer is less. So why you are taking 0? It is behaving just like some other number. So it is not a true 0. If you are saying it is twice, because you have taken 0 as a base, because from our childhood we are learning 0 is nothing. Here 0 is nothing नहीं है, इसमें कुछ है. Something is there in this 0. We have learned till now like 0 means nothing, but in this case 0 means nothing नहीं है. If we compare with -5, -10, -1, it is more warmer than this. So it is behaving just like some other number. So you cannot consider 0 as a base. So I will ask you a counter question. If you will take 10 as a base, will it happen twice? No. If we will take -5 as a base, will it happen twice? No. Then you cannot take 0. So that's why we can find out the difference. We can say the outside temperature, there is a difference of 20 degrees Celsius between inside temperature and outside temperature. So difference is valid. 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस का डिफरेंस है, बट नॉट द रेशियो. हम दोगुना है ऐसा बोल नहीं सकते, ऐसा बोल नहीं सकते. Because this 0 is not a true 0. It is an arbitrary 0. And arbitrary means it has some meaning. And it has meaning like some other numbers. If we'll compare with some other values. तो इसको आप 0 मान नहीं सकते. यहाँ पे 0 है, दिख रहा है 0 जैसा. So that's why we are saying it is a 0. But it is not actually a 0. समझ रहे हैं मेरी बात को? So that's why you cannot say twice outside temperature is twice as in comparison to the inside temperature. Again, I will give you an example. Sometimes what happens? There is no negative marking and there is a negative marking. So if I'm giving you 50 marks question, 50 multiple choice questions, and all the questions are wrong, and if there is no negative marking, then what is the marks you are getting? 0. So it is an absolute 0. It cannot be less than 0. But if there is a negative marking of 0.25, if there is a negative marking of 0.25, then what will happen? And if your all marks are, all questions are wrong, you will get minus 12.5 marks, minus 12.5 marks. Because negative marking is एक क्वेश्चन एक मार्क है तो एक ही नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं है, 1.25 नेगेटिव है. एक क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग हो रहा था और आज सही हो रहा है तो 1, रॉन्ग हो रहा है तो -25, -0.25 सॉरी. सो कितना हो रहा है अपना? -12.5. So if one student is getting -12.5 and one student is getting 0 and there is a one position for the selection, who will be selected? 0 वाला. 0 वाला selected. Negative marking वाली की बात कर रहा हूं मैं. 0. So because the 0 is better than -12.5. So in this case, 0 is an arbitrary number. 0 has some meaning. It is not the absolute 0. Are you getting my point? So you cannot find out the ratio. इसीलिए हम लोगों ने क्या लिखा है देखिए, interval is equal to identification is there, ranking is there, difference you can find, but you cannot find out ratio. But when you are coming to the ratio scale, so in case of interval scale, agar your data is in interval scale, so that's why if you are from management faculty, how we do? I will just show you the minus, you can say that the 5-point Likert scale. 5-point Likert scale if we are talking about. 5-point Likert scale. So what is the value? -2, -1, 0, 1, and then 2. If suppose I am measuring job satisfaction ही हम लोग measure कर रहे हैं, correct है? So someone is giving a tick mark in 0 and someone is giving a tick mark in -2. What is the meaning of that? This zero wala person is more, you can say that the more liking the organization than the -2 wala. So this zero has some meaning. Zero means nothing. ऐसा नहीं होता कि neither agree nor disagree. उसका meaning है उससे बेहतर है वो. नेगेटिव वाले से बेहतर है. तो this is strongly disagree. Disagree. We call it is a neutral, but it is better than this negative value. Then it is a agree and then strongly agree, like this. So this is an interval scale, we call it. 5-point Likert scale. Similarly, the 7-point Likert scale. Now we convert it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why we do this? This is a 5-point Likert scale. We call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because when you are putting this data in an Excel sheet or any other software, if negative value will or and then positive, both the value will come there. It will neutralize sometime, and then you will get a zero value. So that's why we convert it from 1 to 5 to avoid the neutralization. Mean value आपका 0 हो गया. Like this. So here it is an interval scale. Likert scale, it is an interval scale in management science. Economics people, they consider it is ordinal only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranking. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So here this 0 is better than -1. This 0 is better than -2. But it is less than 1 and less than 2. So one person is saying, I am strongly agree that I am very much satisfied with job. Agree. He is neutral. He is saying, I am disagree. And then it strongly disagree. So this 0, it is an arbitrary 0. Here, what are the mathematical operations in the interval scale you can find out? That's why in interval scale, we find the mean. So mean आ गया मेरा 3.5. What does it mean? It means that it is between neutral and agree. That is, the person is between his opinion is between his perception, his job satisfaction is between neutral and agree के बीच में होगा decimal में 3.5 आया तो. So that's why we calculate it. Mean निकाल सकते हैं. Mean निकाल सकते हैं तो हम लोग बाकी तो उनके पीछे वाले सारे निकाल सकते हैं. Median, mode सब निकलेगा उसका. And then once we will be able to find out mean, then we can find out the standard deviation also. Then the last one is the ratio scale. When a scale contains absolute 0, 0 means 0. It is known as absolute 0. There will be no negative value. So all types of mathematical operations you can do, plus, minus, multiplication, division, means ratio, सारे कुछ कर सकते हैं. तो रेशियो स्केल अगर हमारे पास रहे तो डेटा, तो it is always better. You can do all types of analysis, and then you can find out the you can say that the result. And then in the below part also in red color you can see all statistical techniques can be applied to ratio scale data. So nominal, ordinal are known as the categorical data, and then interval and ratio are known as the continuous data. So this is the thing. Again, I have a small example here. You can see here, just a moment. You can see this. Primary scales of measurement data classification. When we are giving the numbers to your runners 3, 8, 7, we don't know who will win. These numbers have no significant meaning. 7 वाला भी number 1 पे आ सकता है, 8 वाला भी, 3 वाला भी. There is no significance. There is no meaning of these numbers. So numbers given to them, it is in nominal scale. Then the person who is touching you can say that the line first, who is the first, then second, then third, rank 1, 2, and 3. This is the thing. Then the interval scale, 0 to 10 point rating. Because there is a difference between ranking scale and rating scale. Rating means the interval scale. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's why number is in decimal, you can see here 9.6. It is a rating scale. So interval scale, it is an 10-point scale we are talking about. Rating 0 से लेके 10 के बीच में उसको rate करना है. It will come in decimal also. सो 9.6 जो ऑब्वियसली जो सबसे पहले रीच किया है वो 9.6, 9.1, 8.2. Now, in this interval scale, you can find out the difference between second rank and first rank is 0.5. Yes, between third rank and second rank, you can find out. Between third rank and first rank, you can find out the difference, but you cannot find out the ratio. Then there is a ratio scale you can see here. Time to finish in seconds, 52 seconds. There is a stopwatch. And it is starting from zero, absolute zero. So the third person is taking 15.2 seconds. The second position person is taking 14.1%. The third position, first rank person taking 13.4%. Here you can, in case of ratio scale, you can find out the difference. You can find out the ratio, anything you can find out. Because here the zero is absolute zero. Zero से ही चालू हुआ है सबका. Here this zero is an arbitrary zero. रेटिंग स्केल वाला जीरो जो है arbitrary है, जो मैंने आपको इंटरवल में दिखाया. यहाँ पे जीरो रेशियो स्केल का जो जीरो है वो एब्सोल्यूट है. दैट इज द डिफरेंस. जीरो मतलब जीरो, एब्सोल्यूट मीन जीरो. उसके नीचे कोई भी वैल्यू नहीं आएगा लेमन के लैंग्वेज में. और इंटरवल के ये में आर्बिट्री मीन्स उसके नीचे वैल्यू आ सकता है. दैट इज द मीन. Okay. Now another example is there. Now I will give you one example in Excel and then you will tell me which data is in which scale. I'm just making a table whenever I have taught you this. Now, but you will get the data in an Excel sheet. Okay, spreadsheet. So that I am making a format and then I am asking that you please try to identify that which will be in which group. Okay. Now what you can do, you just write down the write down the variable name in the chat box, or you can just tell me that हैव यू विजिटेड आउटसाइड इंडिया, यस और नो। ऐसा ये क्वेश्चन हम लोगों ने इनको पूछा है, ठीक है। ये देखिए, नाउ यू राइट इट इन योर चैट बॉक्स। जेंडर डैश which type of scale, nominal ordinal, region dash write down, age group dash age, have you visited को only write down yes or no and then write down the scale name. Educational qualification you write down EQ and then write down the which type of scale and work experience. If you are able to do this, then I will understand whatever I have taught you that you have understood. Gender, region, age group, age, or you can unmute yourself and then you can tell me. Anything will be workable to me. बोलिए. Some people has given the answer. Gender nominal, region nominal, age group ordinal, age ratio yes no itna ordinal ratio. Others, Bunty has given the answers. Others also please write down the answers. I am expecting few more answers from others. Again, only one person has given me the answer. सही गलत है या नहीं है वो बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे हम लोग उनका. But you should tell me. This is the basics of analytics. Let me tell you. You have to understand this. Unless and until you will understand, you will be able to identify the data. In this format only, you will get the data. I have taken certain data example. First, I have told you that what is nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scale. And then I have formulated in such a way that your data will get it in the Excel like this. And certain questions, those are available in demographic variable that I have written. If we are formulating a question, gender will be there, educational qualification will be there, work experience will be there, age group will be there, region I have written, and then yes, no question one I have given. So almost I have tried to cover this. You can say that and then again we can say that you are from which region में region मतलब ये हो गया और region में फिर again we can say rural or urban, urban कौन से एरिया से है. तो पहला first person is saying rural, second person is saying urban and all these things. रीजन ऑफ इंडिया और इसको रीजन रूरल अर्बन कर दिया मैंने. बोलिए इस टाइप का कुछ मिलेगा. आगे जाके लिकर्ट स्केल का डेटा होगा, कुछ और डेटा होगा, समथिंग विल बी देयर. So if you are correctly able to identify, then definitely you have understood something. And then it will be easier for you to do the analytics. And then you will be able to do easily which statistical test is useful where. So that is the important aspect. So I have got some more answer, I think so. So gender, nominal, region, nominal, age group, ordinal, ratio, nominal, ordinal, work experience, ratio, nominal, nominal, ordinal, ratio, nominal, ordinal, and then ratio. Gender, region are nominal, age group ordinal, age is ratio, yes, no is nominal, this. So you all have given the same answer. Nominal, nominal, ordinal, ordinal, then nominal and then ratio. Region क्या होगा last वाला? Region nominal. Okay, ठीक है. So all your answers are correct. First, gender is nominal because only two categories are there, male and female. You cannot say male is better than female or female is better than male. It is nominal. So the first one is nominal. First one is nominal. So if it is nominal, then what are the permissible descriptive? Counting, percentage and mode. करेक्ट है. आपस में रिलेशन निकालेंगे वो बाद में देखेंगे हम लोग. अभी फिलहाल के लिए व्हाट वी कैन डू, नॉमिनल है. तो परमिसेबल, काउंटिंग, परसेंटेज एंड मोड. सेकंड, इट इज अगेन नॉमिनल. इट इज अगेन नॉमिनल. It is again nominal. Then age group, you have written ordinal. Why you have written ordinal? Can you explain this? Ordinal? Give me the explanation why it is ordinal. Anyone? Those who have written it correctly, you can unmute yourself and then you can tell me. Why it is ordinal? Sir, because there is absolute zero. नहीं, there is arbitrary zero आपको बोलना है. Absolute zero होगा तो वो रेशियो हो जाएगा. रेशियो हो जाएगा because it is in order but not suitable for ratio. I am giving you more clarity in this. देखो.
Because the age is greater than or less than, above or below. Yes,
absolutely correct. Because there are group. The first respondent is in which group? 25 to 30 group. So ऐसे करके कितने ग्रुप बन रहे हैं? 25 to 30, 31 to 35, 36 to 40, 41 to 45, 46 to 50 and more than 50. 4-5 ग्रुप ऐसे बने हुए हैं. एंड उसी ग्रुप में सारे लोग आ जाएंगे जो भी 15-16 लोग हैं, या तो इस ग्रुप में या इस ग्रुप में. So you can say the people, those who are in group 25 to 30, their age is less than the people, those who are in 31 to 35. But you cannot find out the difference. Well, this is the definition of ordinal scale. What ordinal scale says? You can say less than or greater than, but you cannot find out the difference. वही तो यहाँ पे हो रहा है. 25 से 30 आपको पता है इस ग्रुप के लोगों का एज है, लेकिन एग्जैक्ट फिगर है क्या? टू फाइंड आउट द डिफरेंस यू शुड हैव द एग्जैक्ट फिगर. Are you getting my point? So you can say the people, those who are in age group 25 to 30, their age is less than the people, those who are in 31 to 35, 36 to 40, 41 to 45, 46 to 50 and 50 and above. फिर अगर हम लोग कंपेयर करें 36 to 40 और 50 and above, तो 36 to 40 वालों का एज कम है 50 and above वालों के साथ. ऐसा तो कम ज्यादा हम बता सकते हैं, लेकिन कितना कम ज्यादा है वो नहीं बता सकते हैं. एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली मैचिंग विद द डेफिनेशन ऑफ ऑर्डिनल स्केल. करेक्ट है. सेम थिंग यू कैन से दैट द एज इज हियर, इट इज द एग्जैक्ट नंबर. किसी भी आदमी कोई आज तक बोलता है क्या माई एज इज -5 years? भाई या तो ही इज नॉट केम इन दिस वर्ल्ड, otherwise once the coming the happy birthday date, from that the date is counting 0. There is no negative value in age. If there is a exact age, it is given to you. So that is the, here in case of age, there is a absolute 0. So that's why it is in ratio. So it is in ratio. Ratio. Here only two options are there, yes or no. Again it is nominal. Again it is nominal. Then UG, PG, doctorate is higher than PG. PG is higher than graduate. Graduate is higher than UG. Again, it is ordinal. But how much? That it cannot be found. We cannot find out the difference. Again, it is ratio. Because work experience, या तो आपका है ही नहीं. It cannot be negative. मैं -5 years से काम कर रहा हूँ. Have you heard this word? No. Either you are a fresher or you have some experience, means it is greater than 0. So it is a ratio. Region, again it is a nominal. Whatever I have taught you, if you are able to understand, when you are getting a data, you will be able to find out, and you will be able to do the analysis, let me tell you. I hope you are able to understand this. इतना जो मैंने बोला है सारे लोग you are able to understand. That is the data classification. Means you are getting a data and you are able to classify into nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. So if it is in nominal, you can find out counting, percentage, mode. Ordinal, ये तो निकाल ही सकते हैं. ऊपर से हम लोग क्या निकाल सकते हैं? Median, percentile, decile, quartile, all these things. Ratio, all mathematical operations. Nominal again same, ordinal again same, ratio, all mathematical operation. Nominal, same thing. So this is the aspect. ये आप एक बार समझ गए. If you are able to understand, you are slowly will come in the world of data analytics. This clarity is very much required. Otherwise, if you will be able to directly learn how to do it in R, then there will always be a confusion that which test I should apply. That confusion is always there. Another important thing you have to understand that the nominal and ordinal scale are known as the categorical scale, whereas the interval and ratio scale are the continuous scale. Continuous का मतलब क्या है? उसमें mean use होगा, standard deviation use होगा, ऐसा है. जबकि नॉमिनल और ऑर्डिनल में मीन स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन का यूज नहीं आएगा, ऐसा. क्योंकि किसी भी चीज का हम लोग मीन निकालेंगे तो उसमें डेसिमल आ भी सकता है, नहीं भी आ सकता है, लेकिन डेसिमल आने का चांसेस रहेगा. उसमें दो चीजों को जोड़ेंगे तो वहां पे पॉइंट में डेसिमल में आएगा. नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द सोर्सेस ऑफ डेटा. So when we collect the data, there are two sources. The people, those who are studying in MBA and all, if we'll ask them what are the types of data, they will tell you that primary and secondary data. No, types of data are quantitative and qualitative data. दो टाइप के डेटा मिलते हैं. Either it will in the form of numbers or can be converted in the form of numbers. Whereas the qualitative data are in the form of words, sentences, and all these things, descriptive in nature. These are the sources of data. You will get the data from two sources. Either it will be from the primary source, then it is known as primary data. Secondary source means it is the secondary data. What is the secondary data? That is already collected by someone else prior to your research. That is there. That is published by somewhere. So if you want to do a movement of share price of a particular company, so till date or the previous data is available with you. So it is a secondary data. It is there, the share price of that particular organization. So if you want to compare the performance of mutual fund of 5 companies of last 10 years, so their performance is already available. उससे आप compare कर लीजिए. So that is the secondary data available. But primary data, it is collected by the first time by the researcher. It is not as published anywhere. You are collecting the data or the researcher is collecting the data. First time, it is a first hand data. So that is the primary data. Both the type of sources of data has certain advantages and certain disadvantages. For secondary data, it is quickly available, means the time saving, or it is economical. It is already, you can say that they're there in the website or anywhere, fraction of second without going anywhere, you will be able to get that particular data. So time saving will be there and then cost saving is also there. But it may be outdated. Corona, after Corona, there is so many changes are there. If your data is before Corona, then what is the use of that? It may be outdated. It may be not exactly related to your research that you want. Or the third important thing, there may be a questionable reliability. How that particular person has manipulated the data that you don't know. So these are the disadvantages. 3 disadvantages I have already told you. It may be outdated. It may not be exactly related to you want. And then there is a questionable reliability. Then primary data, it is very much as per your requirement. You know, you have collected the data. All these things is correct, but it is costly or it is time consuming because you have to collect the data. You have to go to the field or you have to send someone to the field to collect the data. So it will take time. So it is time consuming. And then if you will send someone, you will hire the field survey supervisors, then you have to pay them. So it is costly and time consuming. But both the types of data are used in research. Then there is a certain aspects we have to see here. इसको हम लोग अभी छोड़ देते हैं. Okay. So now we'll go for the descriptive analytics. So what we have, first I will give you certain background, and then you can see your data, how to collect the data and all these things. Or what we will do, we'll go to the second part first, and then we'll come to this, or we'll continue with this just a moment. So when I'm talking about the mean median mode, the one terminology we call it the central tendency. Okay, so what you know that mean means the average value. Quickly, you all of you know, so I am just running through it. So the average of a group of numbers 2, 5, 2, 1, 5. So what will the mean value is 3. We all know divided by number of observations. So you can see here. So the average value is equal to 3. So what is the rule? Add all the numbers divided by number of observations. So quickly, I will just run through it. Then median. Median is the middle term in a set of ordered numbers. Middle term मतलब कैसे भी number रहेगा तो काम चलेगा नहीं. In a set of ordered numbers. So the middle number in a set of ordered numbers. So you can see 1, 3, 7, 10, 13. The middle number is 7. So that is the median. So here there are the even numbers. So there are 2 middle numbers. So we have to find out the mean of these 2 middle numbers. So this is the median. Okay. Then mode is the most popular number, the number which is occurring most of the time. So 1, 1, 3, 7, 0, 1, 13. So which is the number? 1 is repeating 2 times. So mode is equal to 1. And all these things. I have just quickly done it because we have you can say that know all these things. We have done it in our school days also, or somewhere we are related to mean, median, and mode. We know, everyone knows all this. The basic concept of this. So now merits and demerits of mean we are talking about. So it is easy to understand and calculate, and it is based on all the observations, and it is useful for further mathematical treatment. So if anyone will ask you why we have to calculate the mean, what is the relevance of that? Because the one value represents the entire data sets. When you are calculating the mean, you are getting a single value. That single value is representing the entire data set. You need not have to see the entire data set. Okay. And then again, it is easy to understand and calculate. It is based on all the observations. When we are calculating the mean, sare data points we consider to calculate that. And another important aspect of this is it is useful for the further mathematical treatment. Further mathematical treatment means if you want to calculate mean deviation, there is a use of mean. If you want to calculate standard deviation, there is a use of mean. If you want to do correlation analysis, there is a use of mean. T-test, all these things, there is a use of mean. What are the demerits? दुनिया में कोई ऐसा चीज नहीं बना हो जिसका demerits ना हो. Demerits are there, merits are there. So whenever you can see here, so it is much affected by the extreme values. As I have already given you the example, 50 students are there. 45 students have got the marks between 40 to 45. 5 students have got 100, 100, 100. So due to these 5 students, the average value is going to 60%. And then we are saying that 60% average mark. So it is affected by the extreme values. So what is the, you can say that the solution for that? So as we have already discussed in the data cleaning, you have to remove these extreme values. Then not suitable for qualitative data analysis. So mean is useful for the quantitative data analysis. Qualitative for the theoretical aspect, descriptive in nature, there is a 1-page written something. You want to do some analysis, summary you want to find out. What is the interpretation of that? So mean will not help you on that. And then it cannot be located graphically. Graph से आप नहीं निकाल सकते mean. उसको आपको formula use करके ही निकालना पड़ेगा. Then median. It is easy to calculate and understand. You have to put the data in ascending or descending order and the middle number. You will be able to calculate. Not affected by extreme values. Why it is saying not affected by extreme values? Because in case of mean, we are considering all the observations, whereas in case of median, we are considering only the middle value. We are not taking the lower value, higher value. Can be determined graphically using cumulative curves or more than ogive or less than ogive curve. ग्राफ से भी हम निकाल सकते हैं विदाउट यूजिंग द फॉर्मूला ऑफ मीन. इसको निकाल सकते हैं. डिमेरिट्स क्या है? इट इज नॉट बेस्ड ऑन ऑल दी ऑब्जर्वेशंस, नॉट सुटेबल फॉर फर्दर मैथमेटिकल ट्रीटमेंट्स. कभी आपने सुना है कि आगे मीन मीडियन यूज हुआ है? नहीं. एवरीवेयर वी डिस्कस अबाउट द मीन. देन मोड. It is easy to calculate and understand, not affected by extreme values, can be determined graphically using histogram. You can find out mode using histogram. Histogram से अपना mode निकल जाता है. Not based on all the observations and there is no use further mathematical treatment. Correct? So these are the things I have given you, the certain definitions, certain examples, and then merits and demerits of mean, median, mode, central tendency. So now, in our school days also, our teachers told us that today we have completed central tendency. Now from tomorrow, we will study measure of dispersion. So my point is, whenever we are studying any particular aspect, we have to understand why we have to study the measure of dispersion. There might be certain limitations in central tendency. There might be certain limitations in central tendency. Otherwise, if it is giving all the answers, then why there is a need to study the measure of dispersion? There is no need to do that. And then I will show you why there is a need to study the measure of dispersion. I am giving you one example. There are two players, A and B. And then you are the selector of the Indian cricket team. Both the players has the average 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Average runs for last two matches are 50 and 50. You have average value for both the players of 4 matches, 50 and 50. Okay. You have got, by using the formula, you have got 50 runs. Player 1 A has got and player B also has got 50. Now you tell me, being a selector, which player you will select? Player A or player B for the next match? On the basis of these data, are you able to take the decision? The answer is no. No. Now I am giving you the data here. 40, 60, 70, 30. Zero, 0, 0, 200. Now you tell me which player you will select to play in the next match. Tell me. Player A, and the data is very small, so that's why you will be able to find out that. Yes or no? छोटा सा data है. अगर 1000 data होता तो through visual inspection, are you able to say that? Or data is very, I have taken the data that is the completely you will be able to differentiate. So you have to find out the standard deviation. What is the deviation in your data? So I will find out that is equal to ST. अठारह और इसी को मैं अगर आगे कर देता हूं तो इसका स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन 100 है. हायर द स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन मींस हायर द वेरिएशन. Are you getting my point? So which player has less standard deviation means which has less standard deviation means consistency is more. Who is more reliable? So player A. So by seeing the mean value, if the mean values of 2, 3 data sets are same, you will not be able to take the decision. So you have to find out the measure of dispersion. What is the deviation in the data? आपने तुरंत बोल दिया ए प्लेयर, क्यों? क्योंकि आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा है डिफरेंस. But if there are 1,000 data points for A and B, and then figure will be very much similar, through visual inspection, you will not be able to find out the difference between player A and player B. You have to calculate the measure of dispersion. Are you getting my point? So that's why there is a requirement of measure of dispersion. That's why we have to study measure of dispersion. ये हमारे टीचर ने बताया नहीं during the when in our school days why we have to study this. He has told us that we have completed central tendency, mean, median, and mode. Now we'll go for measure of dispersion. Why? Why I should study measure of dispersion? You have to tell me. You have to logically convince me why I have to study this. Why the mean is not fulfilling? Why the central tendency is not fulfilling the requirements? So that this is the thing I am telling you. This is the problem with the mean or the central tendency. The most popular central tendency is mean. Most popular central tendency is mean. Similarly, the most popular measure of dispersion is standard deviation. इसीलिए we always talk about mean and deviation. कभी हमने दूसरा बात नहीं करते मोड और वो कोई क्वार्टाइल डेविएशन ऐसा बात नहीं करते. These are the most popular. And why these are the most popular? Because the demerits are on the lower side. इनके demerits कम है, merits ज्यादा है. That's why popular. The most popular central tendency is mean. The most popular measure of dispersion is standard deviation. So, are you convinced that why we have to study measure of dispersion? Then only we will go to measure of dispersion. By seeing this particular example, please let me know. So, what is the measure of dispersion? What it is saying? The averages and measures of central tendency gives one single figure, which is a representative of the entire data. However, it does not indicate the variation or dispersion in the values of the data. Only one value it is giving. Then the second point, thus, if we have two or more sets of observations with the same arithmetic mean, जैसा कि मैंने 50-50 दिया था, वही चीज लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे. Thus, if we have two or more sets of observations with the same arithmetic mean, but with different variations in the values, thus averages are inadequate to describe a distribution, and the knowledge of dispersion which measures the extent to which the items are of data vary from the averages is necessary. So there are two questions I will ask you. What is the limitation of mean? And why there is a requirement of measure of dispersion? The answer is same. Are you getting my point? Once again, I am repeating. What is the limitation of mean? क्या बोलेंगे आप? Because mean does not provide the deviation in the data. If there are two data sets, three data sets are there with the same mean value, we cannot find out the difference. So there is a requirement of measure of dispersion. So this is the limitation of mean. It's the same question can be asked in another way. Why there is a requirement of measure of dispersion? The answer is same. Are you getting my point? So you can see here that there are different types of measure of dispersions are there. Range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, standard deviation. ये है जैसे हम लोगों का सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी क्या था, मीन, मीडियन एंड मोड. उसी टाइप से द मेजर ऑफ डिस्पर्सन आर रेंज, क्वार्टाइल डेविएशन, मीन डेविएशन एंड स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन. So what exactly we are talking about? It is defined as the difference between the largest value L and the smallest value S in the given distribution. So what is the formula of range? Highest value minus lowest value. इसका बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है. सपोज मान लो मोस्ट ऑफ द डेटा आर बिटवीन 40 to 60 और एक वैल्यू मेरा 0 है और एक वैल्यू 500 है. तो देयर इज ए ह्यूज डेविएशन. इसीलिए रेंज ज्यादा हम लोग यूज करते नहीं है, और करते भी हैं तो उससे पहले यू हैव टू रिमूव द आउटलायर्स. So that's why there so many people are working in TCS and all these things in the data cleaning department. So it is required. Before doing the data cleaning, you cannot go it for the analysis. So range is the difference between the highest and the lowest value. 13 and 1, 12. You can see here. You can find out the range. Then merits. It is simple to understand and easy to calculate. Range अगर calculate करना चाहें तो whatever the data you have, you can put it in the ascending order or descending order, and then you can subtract from highest value to the lowest value. So that is the thing. What are the demerits for this? Not based on entire data and gets easily affected by the extreme values. Entire data में ये कंसिडर नहीं होता है क्योंकि दो ही वैल्यू लेते हैं हम लोग, सबसे बड़ा और सबसे छोटा. We take only two. Not suitable for further mathematical training. We do not use range in further inferential statistical analysis क्योंकि इधर ही उसको इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है. There are so many problems. Then quartile deviation. What is the quartile deviation we are talking about? The values 3 numbers which divide the given data into 4 equal parts are known as the quartiles, Q1, Q2, and Q3. The first quartile, Q1, is the value of n by 4th observation. That is the 25% of the data below it and 75% of the data above. So I will show you one example and then accordingly how we divide it. So ये पूरा data है, data points. You can see here. %, 50%, and then 75%. So इसको हम लोग क्वार्टाइल डेविएशन बोलते हैं. जो पूरा डेटा सेट है that divides into 4 parts. That divides into 4 parts. ये देखिए. देखिए. So what it is saying? When we are taking the first 25%, the 25% data below it and 75% data above it. So this is the one part, 25%, 25%, 25%, and 25%. So it equally divides into 4 parts, and then 25%, 25, 25, and 20. Your second quartile deviation, it is coincides with the median. Second quartile Q2 coincides with the median because the median divides the data into 2 equal parts. So that's why normally we talk about the Q1 and Q3 when we talk about the quartile deviation. Quartile deviation. So what it is saying? So you can see here. The values 3 numbers which divide the given data. I'm just here giving you the definition. What is the relevance of this? Then when we will do it in data sets, we'll do it in R. So the values 3 numbers which divide the given data into 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts are known as the quartile Q1, Q2, and Q3. The first quartile Q1 is the value of the n by 4th observation, 25% observation below it and 75% of the observation above it. And the third quartile Q3 is the value of 3n divided by 4th observation, in which the 75% of the data below it and 25% of the data above it. Whereas Q2 divides the data into 2 equal parts, hence coincides with the median. So this is the formula to calculate. Q1 is equal to this. Q3 and then you can say here the Q4. तो कैसे इसको कैलकुलेट करेंगे? सपोज मान लो एक डेटा लेते हैं हम लोग. कैसे हम लोग Q1 और Q3 निकालते हैं? So this is the data you can see here. How to find out? (22, 30, then 42, 42, then 14, I think so, then 32, then 42, then 52, and then 50. These are the data points. ऐसा copy. So you can see here, I have converted into the ascending to descending order. देख लीजिए. So what did you see? What is the formula? Q1 is equal to fourth observation. So what are the number of observation here? कितने हैं? It is 8. So 8 plus 1, that is equal to 9. So 9 divided by fourth observation. So what will be the value we'll get? 9 divided by fourth observation. So that is equal to 9 divided by 4. So this is, why it didn't come? So it is 2.25. 9 divided by, here we can write here 9 divided by 9 divided by 4. So that is equal to, अच्छा ये डेट के फॉर्म में है इसलिए ऐसा दिख रहा है. फॉर्मेट सेल इसको टेक्स्ट कर देता हूँ. So that is equal to 9 divided by 4. तो ये आगे का वैल्यू कितना है? 2.25. So 2.25 ऑब्जर्वेशन है ये. ऑब्जर्वेशन. This is not the Q1 का value. This is the observation. So if you want to find out the Q1, what is the value of Q1? So what do you have to write down? Q1 is equal to 2. That is the second observation. So what is the second observation? Second observation is 22 plus, what is the difference? 0.25. 0.25. And then this 25 is the between 30 minus 22. 30 minus 22. So 2.25 is between where? Between 2 and then the 3. So that's why it is 30 minus 23. So that will be the value will is equal to 8. So that is equal to 22 plus 0.25 into 8. 8. 30 minus 22, that is equal to 8. So your value is equal to Q1 value is equal to 24. Q1 value is equal to 24. Q1 value is equal to 24. Similarly, you can find out the Q3 value. What is the formula of Q3? 3 into n plus 1 divided by fourth observation. And once you will find out the observation, then again you can use this formula to find out this. Now in this case, we'll find out the Q2 and then you can understand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 7, 8. So what is the value of, these are the two values which are in मिडिल वैल्यू 1 2 3 1 2 3. तो कितना हो जाएगा? मीडियन कितना हो जाएगा? 32 प्लस 42 डिवाइडेड बाय 2. तो 32 और 42 कितना हो गया? 7. 74 डिवाइडेड बाय 2. 74 divided by 2. So 36 72, so that is equal to 37. 37 is your median. So if I want to find out through this formula, what is the value of Q2? Let's check. Q2 is equal to क्या हो जाएगा? How to find out Q2? Q2 is equal to 2 into n plus 1 divided by 4. n plus 1 divided by 4. अच्छा, इसके इक्वल टू हो गया यहाँ पे, ये हो जाएगा n is capital N, we call it n plus 1 divided by 4. So 2 कट जाएगा, so it will be ultimately n plus 1 divided by 2. अरे equal from where it is coming, equal to, yes, n plus 1 divided by 2. So what is the value of n? 8 plus 9, 9 divided by 2, 9 divided by 2. So value will be is equal to 4.5, 4.5. So 4.5 observation. This is the observation. Now again we will find out the Q2 like this. So what is the value in fourth observation? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is equal to 32. Q2 is equal to Q2 is equal to 32 plus 0.5. So 0.5. 0.5. What is the difference? The value is between 4 and 5. So 4 is 32, 5 is 42. So that is the 42 minus 32. This is the value. So 10. So what will be the value? It will come 32 plus 0.5 into thus. What is the value we are getting? 37. Because Q2 coincides with the median. So the same value you can see here. Through the normal method also we have got 37. And from this method also we have got 37. So this is the Q2 value. So this is known as the quartile deviation. This is the quartile deviation. So it is easy to understand and easy to calculate based on the 50% of the data against the range. Not affected by the extreme values because we are taking that value only. Not based on all the observations. It's not suitable for further mathematical treatment. So range इस सब में ज़्यादा time waste हम लोग नहीं करते हैं. Second, mean deviation. What is the mean deviation? It is based from the deviation from the mean. So it is based by taking the arithmetic mean of the absolute deviation of all the values from the average. Absolute deviation is obtained by ignoring the sign plus or minus. हम लोग mode देते हैं and then whatever the value we are getting plus or minus we are converting into positive only. Thus treating it is always positive. So the mean deviation is also known as the mean absolute deviation. Mean absolute deviation. So average mean deviation is equal to summation D. D is the difference. Xi minus X bar divided by N means we are trying to find out the average value. Mean ka average. So this is the formula. Also what are the, we are not calculating, you can see here. Simple to understand and easy to calculate. Based on all the observations. Less affected by the extreme values. Then the most important demerit is what it is saying. A non-algebraic method as it ignores the signs of the deviations and hence not useful for further mathematical treatment. So sometimes rarely used for the sociological studies. Otherwise, why it is not used? Because usko forcefully we are converting the negative sign into positive by giving a mode. Automatically it is not coming positive. But the deviation is there. Suppose the average is 24 and one person has 22, then there is minus 2 negative, and one person has 26, then you can say that the plus 2. If will not give a mode, what will happen? It will neutralize and ultimately you will get a value 0. And it will show 0 deviation means there is no deviation. But there is a deviation. Either it is a less or greater, there is a deviation. Because due to the negative and positive sign, it neutralizes. So that's why the statistician has given an idea that you should give a mode and then find the absolute value. You convert the negative into positive. So ये है आपका mean deviation. इसको भी ज़्यादा हम लोग use नहीं करते हैं. Okay. Then we use this standard deviation. The most popular, you can say that the measure of dispersion is standard deviation. Okay. So after the break at 2 p.m. we'll start with standard deviation. and then someone is asking continuously about the feedback. I hope the feedback will be given after the completion of the lecture. Deepak, are you there? Deepak?
Yes, sir.
So feedback will be given at the end, I think so.
Yes, at the end, they'll receive feedback.
Once we'll complete the lecture, yes or
Yeah.
no?
Yes, once we complete, they'll receive email from our side.
We'll keep the feedback because in between we cannot give you the feedback form. So there is a full 6-hour session from 10 to 1 and then the 2 to 5. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll stop here for lunch and then we'll again start at 2 p.m. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Should I end the meeting?
Yes, sir. End the meeting and we'll start again at 2.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.